talked about it already. All right, I think that Dragon might not be Garp's son.
Oh, that's a good one. We were going to mention that one.
Do this one too. That's a good one.
All right, so you want to go first?
Yeah. I don't know if your whole theory is that he's Rox's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I saw that online. I think Grand Line did a video on it too.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because of the whole. It would make Luffy 2Ds like together the way Ace was, and I feel like you would have to be that.
It's a circle.
It's like a crescent moon and then a whole moon. You know what I mean? And I like that. We are leaning pretty heavily into the Child of Destiny with that though, so I don't know if I like that per se. But it would be a cool twist. And it would stand to reason why Luffy is like as strong as he is and how he's able to overcome the things he's been overcoming. And it would just be like a dope kind of like a cool Luke Skywalker kind of thing, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it sheds more light on Rox, I would like it. You know what I mean? Like if it just is said and then we don't get anything from it, it's like, all right, whatever. That was pointless. If it's gonna happen, it needs to be a introspective on who Rox was and why they hit it and why Dragon is like, you know what I mean? Like how did this impact Dragon? Like I need all of that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna half-heartedly do it the way he's like half-heartedly doing Zoro the Shimotsuki, keep it. Don't want it.
I think it could have led to Ivankov turning Luffy's mom into a man.
Come on.
No, not the crocodile theory. Not the crocodile theory.
So for me, when I thought about Garp probably being Rox's son, I thought it was cool because it would mean that, Dragon. Sorry about that. Dragon. I thought that it would be better for me if Garp's son wasn't really Dragon. Garp's grandchild was actually Luffy's mom. That way you could just add her into it because everybody wants to know about her. But Oda's like, yo, they hold people back from like adulthood. So like, let's not add moms into it, which is why they don't exist in One Piece, right?
R.I.P. to
So
Usopp's mom.
it would make sense like if that was Dragon was Rox's son and then he married or had a kid with Garp's daughter and then had Luffy as the kid. And it would make sense as why he's a D because that means that Dragon is also a D. So, and it would follow Garp's and then he, like Sebastian said, it would be a double D. So it would come into like the moon aspect of 2Ds. And since like the sun and the moon are so prevalent inside, you guys are mature. Anyway, DP. So I feel like that would be interesting.
I'm being influenced.
But I also don't like the idea, like Sebastian said, where we now have to come to terms with fate and free will, like destiny and free will. And we were just talking about it, I believe yesterday, about how like we were watching The Matrix. And basically it came down to if you have free will, how is it destiny? But if it's destiny, then do you really have free will at this point? And it makes Luffy seem like he's never going to lose, which has been kind of like a big problem for him. Because even though he loses in battles, he generally just wins the war. And the only time he never really won was against Kuma. But at the end of the day, it somehow propelled him to reach heights we've never seen from another character. So it kind of makes you feel like sometimes you want the main character to lose something. Because in real life, we lose stuff all the time. And we have to find a way to find a new normal. And Luffy doesn't necessarily have to do that ever.
You say a new normal?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say ever.
Deep.
We had
So
like a huge arc on it, bro.
We need to see like if it's destiny, then it's destiny. Let us know it's destiny. Let us know it's Avatar or something like that. But if it's not, show us that he can lose. Like he can actually lose. Like he doesn't have to beat Kaido right now. I'll be okay if he doesn't beat Kaido right now.
I very much agree.
If he knocks Kaido out and then Kaido gets back up and then like leaves, but he's knocked out, I'm cool with that too. He beat Kaido, but he didn't necessarily beat Kaido. I'd be fine with that. But in a way, Luffy has to still lose in order for us to feel any gravity of the situation at hand. And that's one of the issues that we're feeling now in Wano. It's just not there. The tension's not there. We just know he's gonna win.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess to answer your question, it's like, it would be really nice if Dragon was Rox's son.
I just think it would work out with the society with how Japanese society works. If you're of a lower class or lower social class, then I just think it works out perfectly because Garp is a Navy hero and Rox was supposedly such a bad pirate, such a bad person. But
I also like
there is some tension with Onigashima floating over the capital, but other than that,
I can't say there's no tension. I just don't get the same vibe from Luffy that we get when he's fighting the big bad most times. That's the only problem I have right now, other than the Calamities fights being rushed. But like Luffy and Doflamingo, like it was beef. Like I don't see beef between Luffy and Kaido. It's like all smiles and like, yo, I'm gonna overcome you. Like he was trying to overcome Crocodile and Doflamingo, but it was beef. It was like, yo, you're messing with my peoples. And like the beginning of the rooftop fight had that, where it was like, yo, Kinemon's dying in my arms, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And now
I want to add to that.
It's not that, and it's like, where did that beef go? I want the beef back.
Yeah, let that go.
So I completely agree with you, and I think that the real static should come from Zoro. This is supposed to be the land of samurai, swordsmen. This should be a Zoro arc, and we're almost done with Act 3, or maybe, and we're still getting Sanji stuff. So I think that, or what I would want is Act 4 and Act 5 to be all about Zoro, pretty much, and I want him to get such a strong personal connection with Wano that he wants to have Luffy step aside and he cuts down Kaido's head. And I think that would complete Odin's goal. I think that would complete Odin's work, especially considering he has his sword. And on top of that, I think it would go full circle with what Ryuma did, because I think Ryuma cut down the original owner of Kaido's Devil Fruit. It's been stated twice in the manga that he cut down a flying dragon that emerged from the clouds over the flower capital. That's exactly the symptoms of our boy Kaido.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you mentioned two really good points, and the one point was Sanji is just a bad character for this arc.
He didn't say that.
But he's been a bad character because he's been affecting the story negatively, where it's been taking shine away from somebody we wanted to shine on, one. And then two, you know, we have to look at it in this aspect. Luffy is supposed to be Odin, but what Odin should have did. So, like, Sebastian kind of convinced me at one point, was saying, like, the reason why Odin lost is because he wanted to put everything on his shoulders. Hence, him putting the scabbards on his back in order to survive the pot of oil, right? Luffy doesn't have that type of mentality. He goes, yo, I'm going to need help in order to accomplish my goals. So that right there is like a set in stone like comparison to Odin. That's why Luffy has to defeat Kaido, because what Odin couldn't do and why his downfall happened is why Luffy is going to succeed. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's going to need help in beating Kaido and letting the scabbards help him the same way Odin didn't really let anybody help him. Mm-hmm. So it's like those two important factors. Like, I get why you would want it, and we all wanted it. And like, obviously the writing hasn't been good for Wano too much. It's just been very, very hype and fan service. And you're gonna get that, man. This is Wano's not top 5 arcs, bro. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Yeah, I think it is. It's not, bro. It's not.
I agree, unfortunately.
I believe it still could be, but it isn't to me currently.
We still have Act 4 and Act 5.
Yeah, it depends on how it plays out. If we get the Straw Hats versus Kaido in the way that I was saying, like, because like you were bringing out with Luffy and the paralleling Odin and him not relying on the scabbards, Luffy relies on the Straw Hats for everything.
Yeah.
Like, everything. So, like, I know that they beat the Calamities and stuff, but, like, if they could step up and fight Kaido in Luffy's absence after he loses again. You know what I mean? Like, I know I said this a bunch of times, but that could be them completing doing what the scabbards couldn't do for Odin. You know what I mean? Stepping in and handling what Luffy couldn't handle in that moment. At least just buying enough time. I don't know if we get it anymore, because, like, I don't know if we're getting it anymore. But I would like to have seen that, especially with parallels to, like, oars and stuff. Like, it would have been dope. Stop the Sanji slander. We're getting a lot of stop the Sanji slander in the chat.
Sanji's trash.
Terrible.
All right, so we have another question.